Honestly, one of the nicest things that like has fixed for me, YouTube just automatically publishes to public instead of not. For the past long while, it's been like unlisted. Okay, now I need to put this chat here, and it always makes it like this tiny box where I could only possibly see one or two chat messages. So I have to make it bigger. And now we do the next thing. Oh, we're removing an entire directory, it looks like. I'm so glad I'm doing this on a computer that I'm not doing anything else with. What? Oh, okay, that's what. I am on the wrong. Okay. I have to remove the default Apache configuration and. That sounded so weird because it is in front of a fan. Disabled, already disabled, does not exist. Okay. How are people doing? I am currently setting up a server right now. Did someone literally hop onto YouTube to try to get me to say the forbidden numbers? Intel or AMD? AMD. Hands down, every single time. AMD is currently, in my opinion, better. What am I working on? I am currently setting up Pelican so I can do some virtual game servers. And oh my gosh. Like, I will say, one of the best things about AMP, to get an AMP up and running, takes like two commands. Because the first command installs the dependency that makes it so the script works. Once you have the dependency working, then you run the script. It just works through all of the other stuff that I'm currently doing. VMware or VBox? VirtualBox. My thoughts on Chinese phones. Are they really killing Apple market worldwide? I mean, yes, except for the US market. Because the US market, Chinese phones are banned. How do you get into the dark web? If you need to ask, you shouldn't go there. Even normal people should not go there. Price wise, what Chinese phones are affordable? I don't know off the top of my head because they're not allowed in the US. So, yeah. How do I get to the evil web? Well, you take your computer and you take a Sharpie and you draw an evil mustache on it. No, it should be the same one. How does an addressable fire alarm work? Weren't you here a little while ago, like a few days ago, asking that same question? And you're spamming it. Dude, isn't it right there? Like right down there. How to build a helicopter. You don't want to build one yourself. Oh my gosh, my phone is exploding. Let's see, what other comments are coming through with questions? What OS am I currently using? Windows 11. Windows 11. Ubuntu. I am putting my phone on vibrate. You want to come down to the location and we can do it there tomorrow? I don't have a ton of time tomorrow, but I should be able to squeeze it in if you let me know when. Oh, my D&D group is texting me, and the nonprofit that I spent most of last year working with is messaging me because things are like we're wrapping things up and closing things down there. Oh, welcome to my life. It's fun. Zoe, I still need to read your message. Oh my gosh, today has been exhausting. Someone asked, what am I working on right now? I am working on getting gaming servers set up so that I can test them and I can get them up and running for like content creators who need gaming servers. How many platforms am I streaming to? 3. TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Oh my gosh. Any words for someone who lost their job months ago? Former one-man department, IT, marketing, management, and miscellaneous. Thing I would definitely recommend doing if you haven't found a job at this point. Try looking for contract jobs with MSPs. Because usually if you can find a decent local small MSP, they will drastically help. SSD swap, all data gone. Well, all of your data was stored on that SSD. So if you remove the SSD that had all of your data and put a new SSD in, all of the data is on the old SSD. I need to look through that message after stream. I have been exhausted today and getting through some of the backlog of like like the stuff that makes you feel human. Like my laundry was in two separate baskets. All I have left are t-shirts and socks to fold and put away. Everything else has been put away, including all of my bedding. I am very much a princess. I have a ton of pillows on my bed. I've only been using two, but now I have all of my pillowcases, including the large body pillowcase that sits at the top of my bed that my other pillows go on top of. That is finally clean. I should be having a better night's sleep because of that. I hope I dream of a better night's sleep. What is the best CPU for a 5060? Whatever CPU works for you. There is no best CPU for that GPU. Like, it's whatever CPU works for you and works for the build that you're trying to do. I don't think people realize that I charge money to spec out computers for clients. Oh my gosh. Zoe. So, like, they're running scans and they have not noticed this system until now. And they're trying to tell you that it's new, even though the system has been online for, you say years, but I'm guessing like, okay, set up a year ago. Okay. That, yeah. That also looks very bad on them. Anyone want to bet, like, place a bet on if I'm going to get a message after this live stream of someone saying, hey, why'd you mute me? Other people were spamming. Because almost every live I mute people, I get one of those messages. I'm like, guys, it's on the screen. How does Wi-Fi work? It's a radio frequency. It's a two-way communication over a radio frequency. How do you fix a tech virus? You remove it from the system using an antivirus scanner. Okay. Next up, I have to create a file. Okay. I am so glad Linux distros have added or re-added, because so many Linux distros did not have the top bar on, like, the files window where you can type in where you want to go. I've run into multiple that just don't have that, and you either have to enable it or you have to go through a few hoops to get to it. And I'm like, why is it so hard? Oh, because you guys program for command prompt. And this one's actually pretty smooth. Mm-hmm. Give me this back. How? I have to remember how to do an elevated files window. What OS did I end up with? I was on Ubuntu the other day for this system. What is an emulator? An emulator is a piece of software that mimics the hardware of another device. You're going to do software engineering. Is it good? Yeah. Software engineering is a good career. Why is an emulator? No, we shouldn't be asking why is an emulator. We should be asking how is an emulator. No one asks how the emulator is doing. Ubuntu open elevated Holy cow, that is so many warnings. We're just going to clear that really quick. Okay, so the easier way is to just do this and just do admin 1969. There we go. And for anyone who's going to say, oh, you just gave us your password, that's the password I use for every test server or system. Like, I think I have a sticky note with it out there for other people who work on systems in my shop. What's the difference between every Linux? Do you not realize how many different versions and distributions of Linux there are? I definitely cannot go over the difference between all of them. Can I recover your Facebook page? No. I can't even recover my... Dude, and you're spamming. Like, really? No, we do not use Arch. What distro do I use? I normally use Mint. I'm currently using Ubuntu. Okay, the reason all of those errors popped up apparently was just because I tried to do the old version of how to open Nautilus from an elevated terminal. Newer Linux is so much different than what I'm used to. I am so out of practice using like just basic Linux at this point. Okay, I need to get over to also, good lord, why does it do this? We'll put you up here and we'll put the file folder down here. How about that? Like, seriously, there's some things that I'm just like, if you're going to steal from another operating systems like GUI, steal the whole thing, not just part of it. Okay, Rohan, I don't know what you mean by that question. Can you rephrase it? Sorry, I'm trying to read it and I'm not sure what you're asking. It's probably on me. What's better, AMD or NVIDIA? AMD right now, just because they're failing at doing AI so hard. Also, I'm going to turn off this. It will get warmer in this room, but I'm okay with that because it'll be a little bit quieter and I don't have to talk as loud. And I won't lose my voice. Yeah, like newer versions of No, it's making me wish I was using KDE. Because I wonder if like KDE usually is a little bit better about like taking the features of other operating systems and doing them fully instead of like half-assed. Now watch, someone's gonna hop in here and be like, "You're only talking crap about Linux." No, I talk crap about every operating system. Okay. I need to rename Nish. I need a mouse pad over here so bad. Pelican, not Pelican. Delete. Oh, excuse me. Okay, that should be. Yep, all of that is correct. I have that now done. Now we just need to is in. Pelican config A2 in mod rewrite. Okay. Yep. A2 in mod PHP 8.5. Okay, it was already enabled. Okay, now we're just gonna do next step in this setup that I am building out here. I want to make it so you guys can see this screen. I just haven't done that yet. Like whatever screen I have on this desk. The main thing is I need all of my controllers. Like if I tilt this back, there's a controller right there, and there's a controller right there for this setup. I need those and whatever is doing the video feed from this monitor all need to be on something that I can just put there instead of like having to put each individual thing on the desk each time. Okay. Okay, that should not be happening the way that it is. We are going to restart this system. Because that'll force a restart of the Apache server as well, because the entire system is going to be restarted. Is this a portable monitor or just a smaller desktop monitor? No, this is a portable monitor. I have this one. I have one over there. Trying to remember. I think that one can take in Type C inputs as well. That one is a HDR monitor, so when I'm doing video work, I can see what HDR is going to look like, and it's also pretty. Then I have this monitor, and I have these two. Over the past while, Lapao has sent me quite a few monitors. I really like theirs, and then the one over there is an Aerozopa. A long while ago, I gave two of them away. I did get actually I've given 3 or 4 away. I can't remember at this point. It's been a lot. Restore session. Now give me a terminal. And we're going to put the terminal all the way up in the corner. Sudo. Is it tac Y? No, it's tac T. Oh, what is the one to elevate the entire thing? Dang it, I have to look this up. Every so often I have to look up how to do basic stuff. Okay, I'm gonna use the AI overview then. Is it okay? It's I, right? $1969. There we go. That's what I wanted. Clear. I'm okay. The reason I went with Apache is because I'm more used to Apache. I'm gonna hate myself for using Apache, aren't I? Because okay, should I just forego using Apache and use NG iNext, whatever its name is? Okay. Let's just make sure I do this properly. It's just gonna be apt. I keep wanting to type apt-get, and I know I still can, but okay, that's gonna install, and then I'm gonna go through the. Do I play Roblox? No. Let's see. What questions have been coming through? Oh, really quick. I need to fix this so I can hit buttons and things actually work on the stream. And the fact that it's behind a TikTok window is frustrating. What's the worst operating system? Temple OS. Are you allowed to get stoned on Patreon? Because I'm just like, it would be really funny to do like an exclusive live stream where I'm using Temple OS while elevated. Oh wait, there is actually one that is worse than Temple OS. What is the name of it? Um, there's one that someone created using AI, and it is an abomination. Like it is the most unholy garbage of everything I know of. Because I think it would be really funny and trippy for like using the I can't remember what the feature's called on Temple OS, but there's like inspiration feature where it's God is communicating to you through the random generation. And I'm just like, that would be hilarious. Ubuntu is okay, except for one major issue. Um, the major issue is Snap in Ubuntu, and their heavy push of Snap. That's why I stopped using Ubuntu, is because, like, because they so heavily started pushing it, it made it so many things became harder and didn't work. They pretty much split their applications into two categories, and one of their categories is like a walled garden where it tries to keep them all like this little nestled thing for every single little application that can't do much of anything and touch anything else, and makes it so much harder for things that need to communicate with other things to communicate. You have to jump through so many more hoops because of Snap. Am I a big Star Wars person? Where is my lightsaber? Is it not in this room? It's somewhere in this room. I have a lightsaber in this room somewhere. Of course, I'm a Star Wars person. Do I have a degree? No, I dropped out of college while I was studying robotics engineering. Okay, I installed NG Inix. I don't care what it's called. I'm going to be calling it NG Inix now. Because pronouncing acronyms is so much better. What's my favorite tech item? It's on my desk. This thing. I've done one video on it, and I'm planning on doing more. This thing is an ISO emulator. So it will, well, ISO and VHD. So in here, I have a bunch of ISOs, like here's Kali Linux ISOs. And it will pretend to be an external DVD drive. So you don't have to, like, people always tell me to use Ventoy instead of this thing. Ventoy, you have to load up into a bootloader, and then it takes, holy cow, dude, read the screen. It says no spam. With like things like Ventoy, it loads up a bootloader that then takes the ISO and in software emulates a DVD drive. This emulates the DVD drive on the device. So that way your computer only sees the DVD plugged in. Works so much better. I've not run into any computers that were not compatible with this. And if you want one of these, there's straight up link in my stuff. There's the link. If you use that link, it helps me because it helps me earn money. I'll be straightforward with that one because, oh my gosh, I need to be making income. Least favorite piece of tech that has haunted my career. What is the worst thing I've run into? Oh, I know. Dang it, I don't have it sitting on a shelf anymore. MikroTik routers. Worst piece of tech in my opinion. Just because, like, they've gotten better with time, but when I was working tech a decade ago, oh my gosh. Okay, Exchange is not that bad. I've had to deal with Exchange so many times. And like, yes, Exchange is temperamental, but the main reason people don't like Exchange is because of Outlook. Outlook is usually the issue in that situation. Like, straight up. And now I need to do another elevated files window. Do, 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 do. Like, Outlook is okay. Yeah, no. Outlook 2003 through 2013 did break fairly easily, especially if you had like Outlook through those years was mostly designed for businesses that had like 20 or less employees. The fact that a Linux user got into the chat and then didn't read the screen. Um Sorry, I mean Exchange. Exchange like 2003 to 2013. You are right. It did break easily. It was mostly designed for small business. Microsoft did not want to admit that because as you got bigger and bigger, as mailboxes got bigger, that's when you started experiencing more issues. And so it would run into issues if you tried to migrate those. I ran into it because so many people were sending like gigabytes of attachments. And when I tried to put a limit on how big attachments could be, my boss was just like, no, we need like the really big attachments. Like, there shouldn't be a reason we shouldn't be able to do this. Our internet's fantastic. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Especially because our servers suck. Ugh. Okay. Now let's get over to that. NG site available. Copy this. We're going to paste it there. We are going to rename this to pelican.config. We're going to open it 1969. Has anyone gotten upset about the fact that I say the password out loud as I'm doing it? Okay, we are going to copy this, and it's going to go over into here. Control save. Close that. Okay, now ln s etc /n Linux sites available. Pelican Linux sites enabled. Oh, am I supposed to put this in both folders? Oh, I also need to change the domain before I do this step. Oh, I should set the IP to a manual IP really quick. Wired settings. What's my opinion on needing to change your password every 6 months? It's good policy, but people end up not doing it in a way that it actually becomes secure. It becomes less secure the more frequent you have to change your password, because people start writing down their passwords if they can't, like, if they have to change it every 6 months. Like, honestly, if I go into a business and I start doing a security audit, there's 3 places I look for the password. Most common, under the keyboard. Second most common, in the top drawer. sometimes underneath things in the top drawer, but stuck on a sticky note to the bottom of the drawer. Third most commonplace, back of the monitor. Like just within easy reach of you grabbing. As long as the back of the monitor is to a wall where the back of the monitor can't be seen. Yeah. I have even walked into offices where the password is on the back of the monitor and there's a window there. So you can see the password through the window. I've also seen it on like a cork board that is visible from a window. Someone said that Pac-Man is superior to apt install. No, I like apt install. Oh, I'm still partially doing the Pelican install right now. Okay, I desperately need a mouse pad. What do I have that can be a mouse pad? Am I using a MacBook as a mouse pad? Yes. Am I going to regret it because there's stickers on it? Yes. Should I flip it over and do it just on the silver side? Also, yes. Oh, that's so much better. Manual. I need to figure out what IP addresses I can use currently. Why do big businesses use Windows-based when they should be using Linux-based? Why should they be using Linux? And what systems in Linux should they be using that would be better than Windows? Hey, I can buy parts for a customer. Um, Stability is not like is not the key thing that companies need. Companies need feature sets and usability. And more systems are available on Windows than they are on Linux. More software is compatible with Windows than Linux. What's my opinion on Catchy OS? I haven't used it. Should I add it to my list to try? I've not. I've not used that many different Linux distros from like the past 5 years. Because there was a certain point when I just got tired of Linux Bros, and so I stopped doing a lot of things with Linux. I do not have this software on this laptop right now. I should download it really quick. Give me a second. I can't see chat because oh my gosh, so many pop-ups from Avast. No wonder I do not recommend Avast. And before someone questions why I'm running Avast on my computer, it's because they have a rescue boot CD, and I need that for doing virus scans. There's sometimes that you need to boot into an environment that can do initial scans to find things, to see if you need to do more scans or what. Okay, we are going to scan my local network because I don't have the map memorized in my head. Person asking about if this is a good build. If it works for you, then it's a good build. I like Pop OS, but the fact that there hasn't been a major update for Pop OS in quite a while, like, makes me standoffish. Like, what, Pop OS, what version are they on right now? Yeah, they're still on 24.04. And, like, yes, long-term service is a thing and all that. But, like, for Linux that feels so old, that's Linux that is 2 years old with a revision number of every 6 months in its name. Because, like, normally, like, let's see, can I see, like, old versions of Pop OS? Oh, do they only have the 20? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, they have 2204. And then they have 2404. So, like, at minimum, the release schedule would be every 2 years. And then it's been over 2 years. Like, if you guys didn't know, in the name of a lot of different Linux distros, you will see, like, currently you'll see 26 dot some number. The first 2 digits are the year. The after the period is the month, telling you when it was released. Greatest numbering scheme of all time for an operating system. I love it. It's fantastic. All operating systems should be going off of this type of numbering scheme at this point. But it also shows you how, like, old an operating system is. And I just feel like going that long without a major revision, it feels like a bad sign. Is there actually a 2604 version of Pop OS? Oh, come on. Okay, now I refuse to use Pop OS because of one simple thing. Let me completely just block this person. Oh, they follow me. Okay, fine. They get muted. That was beyond annoying. Yeah, part of me just wants to straight up block you after doing something like that. Because seriously, like, you just spammed the chat so bad that, and you saying I'm not responding, your first message and your second message were 4 seconds apart. It took you all of 4 seconds to start spamming. Have I developed a game before? Yeah, very weak ass games, honestly. Okay, but this makes me not want to use Pop OS, like, ever again. So, remember what I said about the numbering scheme for Linux distros. Pop! OS 26.04 is scheduled for release at the end of June. For one thing, we're in July. It doesn't seem like it has been released, so it's already late. But also, correct me if I'm wrong, but the month of June is not the 4th month of the year. It's the 6th month. That would be 2606. And they're calling it 2604. That is an abomination. That is ruining the numbering scheme that we have set forth for the longest time. You forgot the password for a WinRAR file? Yeah, good luck getting the info back from that. They're following Ubuntu versioning. But the problem is, even if they're following Ubuntu versioning, Ubuntu released in April. It follows the numbering scheme. Like, the fact that they're keeping the 04 on the end of Pop! OS doesn't do anything. Like, if they're only going to release Pop! OS like every roughly 2 years, they should just go with the first 2 digits. There's no reason to have the stuff after the dot. Like, yeah. The fact that they're doing this, that just frustrates me to no end. Okay. Let me look at what my Okay, I think I'm gonna do 43. I think something's already 42. 1969. Let me find the domain up here, and we're gonna do 43. And where's my network settings? .50.43. And the gateway. Primary DNS is going to be the router. Oh, DNS can still be automatic. Good. We'll go with that. There we go. We'll minimize that for now, just in case. And is there anything else that I need to update? 10.10.50.43. How many times does it mention domain? TikTok, I'm not inactive. I'm currently live streaming. Oh my gosh, how many times am I going to have to move the puzzle piece? If you guys wanted to know what that sudden ringing sound was, that is TikTok letting me know that I need to confirm that I'm actually here. Can you make a telephone which works on VoIP calls like internet calls? Yeah, I've known quite a few different products that do that. The one tricky one is doing it for like Google Voice. That one's harder. Standard VoIP type phone calls work so much easier, especially if you're using a professional service to do it. Let me rescan, and I want to see number 43 on there. Is the Gigabyte 5070 good? It's pretty good. I mean, it's a 5070. What's my opinion on spying software that sells third data to third-party persons like Palantir? It's horrible. Person asking about 20 monitors being connected at once. I'm not answering your question. You've been spamming the chat. The fact that Zoe's now crawling through her attic to pull a cable. You put two fans on the case cover, like part that comes off. Is it a problem? It shouldn't be, as long as there's unrestricted airflow. Of course you got distracted. Oh no, my favorite thing that people have started doing is they will get those toy tank robots or like the two-wheeled like robots that can jump to do network runs because they just do a lightweight string on it and then they just feed it through the ceiling and let it jump over the obstacles. Do I know about downloadable RAM? Yeah, it's a common scam. Thoughts on Kubernetes? Don't really have any. Best RMM tool. I mean, it kind of depends on how big like your business is and things like that. There are some free RMM tools. You just have to be very careful about security. You're a smaller organization, usually something like Synchro is a good option, especially because Synchro has a different payment model than other ones. I think Synchro you pay per like technician instead of per seat on computer. Oh my gosh, someone decided to remove a network running thread, so I'm guessing a string in the ceiling to make it easier to run new network cables. Oh, that's diabolical. I've had that happen at a couple of sites. I've had like a string that I also pulled through with cable so I could pull more cable at some point. Um that's diabolical because that just adds so much more work. Usually the thing I do at that point is I take one of the cables that's already been run and I'll cut that at both ends and I'll run an extra cable just to hook up to that one. But it's a waste of cable at that point. Is the 3050 still viable? Yes. Currently people are just now really retiring their 10 series GPUs. What Linux distro should you use for your old laptop? I'm partial to Mint OS. Um, but if your laptop is like fairly old, something like Chrome OS Flex might be the best option. Yeah, no, my favorite is I frequently get people in my chat who will ask, like, is the 5080 still viable? And it's just like, and they'll spam it in the chat. I'm just like, what the F is wrong with you? Oh my gosh, it was running under university buildings since 1970. Yeah, I think I would straight up like kick someone if they had cut that. I would make that person run the new thread. Dot 43. I don't see a domain requirement there. Why is that one lit up? Go read the thing. Okay, it might just be a highlight they accidentally put there, right? Yeah, I don't see any reason why that's highlighted. Okay, I have now fixed that. And I think I've typed all that correctly. Okay. Zoe, you lied to me. I ran into the same issue. Okay. Okay, why is my network not working right now? I'm gonna restart the system. It has a new IP address, but that IP address is valid. And I'm seeing it right there, so the rest of the network is able to see it. What's some home projects for a beginner that I would recommend? Um, I mean, doing basic like, so the one I always recommend is basic gaming servers, like setting up your own Minecraft server if you play Minecraft or like whatever games you play. Learning how to set up a gaming server because it's a fun way to get you to want to do it. Like so frequently I hear people like picking like major projects that they're going to honestly hate in the long run And so you want to do something that people will find fun. Did like my internet go out at some point? Because TikTok says I'm not live right now. But I see chat. That is so weird. Like there was literally a pop-up on my screen from TikTok saying could not reconnect to live. Okay. 1969. Let's see if anyone can earn a cookie. Why do I use 1969 as my norm? I did see you in YouTube chat. Why do I use 1969 as my default like test password? What's more important in RAM, the speed or the size? Size. Speed, usually people will not see like a drastic change going from one level of speed up to the next. Usually it's a little bit more. No, Back to the Future would be 1985 to 1955 or 2015 or 1885. Is it 1885 or 1855? I think it's 1855. What mini PC should you buy for heavily modded Minecraft server? That one is tough because a heavily modded Minecraft server, you're going to need like a decent amount of RAM, like a ton of RAM. Can you run Windows on RAM, like on a RAM disk? I mean, you could. You would need a decent amount of RAM. 1969 is when I was born. No. There's a specific event that happened in 1969 that is the reason I use it as my password on these things. Oh, I did that in the wrong order. Oops. I need. Oh, How did I miss like this entire part up here? I probably hit the space bar and it scrolled down. What? Yeah, Robo Twilight knows the event that I'm talking about that caused me to have a specific password. Here, I'll give you guys a hint. Oh, that's where some of my stickers are. Let's see. That's a round sticker. It's okay, page 38. Here you guys go. Here's the page about Stonewall. Okay, why is this not working? What am I missing? Did I spell it wrong? I'm already in an elevated prompt, so I shouldn't have to do this. Could not open input file artisan. What? Why? Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm in the wrong. I need to go to CD. Isn't it that? Okay. I forgot. I need to be in a specific directory, and I rebooted the entire thing. Oh, it's in Bear. Failed to open stream. No such file or directory. Fired. Auto load. Do I have any recommendations for good rack mount shelving in a full size rack? I have like ones that are full like length. So like it has a bracket at the back, so it's like the shelf only goes half the way back on my rack, but like the rails go all the way back, so it has support at the back and front. Because I have a couple of servers sitting on it. I have I want to say a server and a JBot sitting on a shelf that is mounted like that. Why do you need to install a proxy? If you're asking what a proxy is, why do you need to install it? Also, this person's getting muted because they cannot read. And this one. The reason your temperature on your CPU is 100 degrees is because you need a cooler or you need to fix your cooling situation. I do not know cameras that well to know. I mean, I have the R5 Mark II and I like it. I prefer Canon, but a lot of people have told me that Sony is better for small time use. What's my thoughts on the RAM situation? AI sucks. Oh, this isn't my camera bag. This is my equipment bag. If you don't know what a proxy is, you don't need one. Okay, why is this giving an error? Oh, I have a couple of servers that I used as shelves for a long time. Yeah, like sometimes you just use servers as shelves. If you want to do a bottleneck test, there is a bottleneck tester on my site that I recommend. If you go to my site, it is that website. It's the third link down on tech and tips. Is a bottleneck calculator. But the other thing is you usually want your GPU to be your bottleneck, not your CPU. So if you have a bottleneck, usually you want your GPU to be the bottleneck. What do I think of Meshtastic technology? I love it. What's a gaming laptop under 1K? Something off of Temu that'll probably die in a month. By anything tech, do you mean anything tech? Well, I was a robotics engineer student. I studied 3D animation. I also studied journalism. I worked in IT in every single department imaginable. Um, I've run my own repair shop for the past decade. I studied electrical engineering. I studied computer science. Like, yeah. Yeah, I know programming. I've done a lot of programming in my life. I'm not like, I'm not one for programming myself. Thoughts on Subway, like Subway sandwiches? They're pretty mid, but like if you need a quick sandwich while you're on a job site, they are fantastic. There's been multiple times when I've been on like very long job sites and I've gone to Subway and it's been like the best thing ever, mainly because I was so exhausted. Yeah, the more people on Meshtastic, the better. Like it makes it work better. And it's not necessarily line of sight, it's just short range throws. Ugh. I'm trying to see what AI killed programmers. Not really. A lot of people think that AI killed programmers. Oh, Maddie and I muted the same person at the same time. I'm just like, why is it not working? um, oh, especially that question. I'm gonna mute. Yeah, AI has not killed programming or programmers. It's just a lot of people have bought into the hype and the what's the term? Like the advertising for AI. Like that's the biggest issue. Um, there's major advertising for AI making it sound way better than it is, and that's the biggest problem right now. So a lot of companies have bought into the hype. I'm actually going to shut down this system and I'm going to start from scratch on this because does Ubuntu have a thing like a time shift on Mint? Is that a feature on Ubuntu? Because I'd love to make like a snapshot right when I got done installing. Is it still worth it to take computer science as a major? Yeah, why would it not be worth it? Which laptop would I recommend? An Asus or a Lenovo? Lenovo. Okay. Where is my USB cable for this? And Ubuntu should still be the latest one. So there were a few mistakes I made while I was installing this, and I want to start from scratch to avoid those mistakes and also see if those mistakes were what was causing me grief. What laptop is best for school and gaming? I don't know. Like, there are a lot of different laptops. I don't know the current best one right now. I should sit down and I should go through and have recommendations. I might do that this weekend if I have time. How do you get unrestricted AI? Tell us more that you want to see people who are not consenting undressed. That's automatically like the main reason people want unrestricted AI is because they want to make generated images of people that do not consent to being undressed in your images. Is it worth it to buy a PC at $1,300 or should you save up? Honestly, 1,300 is right in the range that I recommend. Like, if it's a desktop, like you're building your own desktop, usually you want to start with about 1,200. Like it used to be, I would recommend like 900 to 1,000, but now it's 1,200 because of prices of things. but you also want to make sure it's going to be upgradable. Anything tech related? What's my mother's maiden name? Why would I tell you that? That's not tech related. What's a good external SSD for your laptop? My personal recommendation, my favorite external SSDs these days is SanDisk. They have phenomenal ones. Updated version of installer. It's gonna get that, and then Hannah Montana Linux has got an update, like a new update for Hannah Montana. Oh my god! Ah! Oh my gosh! The fact I need to spin up VirtualBox and spin up a version of Hannah Montana Linux. That's amazing. Oh, that makes me so happy. You have a 5500 RTX 5060. Is it good for? I mean, you have a 5060. Of course, it's going to be good for 1080. Is Linux better for Minecraft? A little bit yes, and a little bit no. Um, like you can play Minecraft on it just fine. I feel like the launcher has more integration with Windows that might be more of a headache right now. Now, 1969. I do not want it requiring the password on boot because I just want to test this thing and make it quick and easy. SanDisk is good now. I've had a ton of trouble with their stuff failing on me. SanDisk is a part of Western Digital, so yeah. Like especially for portable SSDs right now, external media, SanDisk is phenomenal. Oh my gosh, Hannah Montana Linux does the proper naming scheme, even though Pop OS doesn't. That is hilarious. Thoughts on AI glasses for people who wear glasses? I mean, I wanted the Google Glass for a long time. Like I had an invite to do the beta of Google Glass. I would have had to go to California for like a week to get it done. And I did not want to go through that hassle. Have I heard of the yellow key exploit, and does it work? It does work. It's just a little bit more limited than people realize. Um, because it only will work on a system that has that drive connected. So, like, if you use BitLocker to encrypt a drive and then wipe the computer that you did it on, that drive will still be encrypted with BitLocker, and you won't be able to get into that drive using yellow key. You would need the password or the recovery key. Hey, what you doing? Come here. Come here. My cat is walking around, and I want to give her pets so badly. There she is. Coming all the way up. Welcome to the stream. My kitty cat. Hey, baby. Mwah. You have leaf on your tail. Why do you have leaves on your tail? Why are you getting leaves on you? Are they not leafing you alone? And you are just flashing your butt to the camera. You're just gonna hide your shame. Will RAM prices decrease anytime soon? No. I can't have you on my desk while I'm working. I can have you here. So most likely RAM prices are not going to come back down until 2028. And that is why I'm in the process of closing my repair shop. Like, originally, I figured I would be able to make it through until 2027 without issues. But making it through to 2028, like, that's not going to happen. Like, I already have enough issues because I've lost most of my suppliers because they just won't ship to the US anymore due to tariffs and just bad trade policy. Hey, thanks so much for the gifts. And yeah, now on top of that, we have the RAM crisis that is not going to end anytime soon. Like, yeah, it is a nightmare. And yeah. Oh my gosh, Robo Twilight, I just saw what you typed. Go sit in the corner for 5 minutes. Someone literally hopped in asking for a free stick of DDR5 128 right after I said I'm closing my repair shop because of RAM prices. Is our digital privacy a fiction? Yeah. Can you make a Minecraft server on Odroid C2? I gotta remember that system off the top of my head. I want to say yes. Like, it wouldn't be that powerful. Like, you'd probably run into a lot of issues, but you should be able to. Like, it will probably scream every time you move or place a block, but technically you could put a server on it. I've run a Minecraft server on my what's it called? The Jetson Nano. How to remove the green line on iPhone 13, get a replacement screen. Go into a shop and have them replace it. Oh yeah, someone was asking me about AI glasses. AI specifically, no, but smart glasses, yes. Like, and I feel like Google Glass did it the right way because it was non-intrusive. It was just a thing right up here. And I feel like that's the best version of it, is having it be something that's non-intrusive, slightly in your eye line, but not in a place that is going to really bug you, and something that you will actually have to look at to really get full clarity. I'm kind of glad I get to mute you because I'm not bothering with AI questions. Like, still. AI sucks and it literally is ruining tons of stuff and people don't realize it. And also, they're losing money hand over fist, like, constantly. What is my favorite GPU? I really like the AMD 5000 line. Like, I can't remember how many GPUs are in that line, but like all of them have been fairly decent because they're a good, like, inexpensive GPU even still. What's the VRAM limit setting in games in games? To limit how much VRAM the game is using, so that way you're not using all of it if you don't want to. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Intel. Intel has had a lot of L's. Oh yeah, no, it would be really nice to have smart glasses that don't have a creepy spy camera. Like, if it's going to have a camera, for one thing, shutter sound should be required. For another thing, an LED light that shows that it's recording, that if, like, that also has a detection if that LED light is not functional and is being hidden in any way, it can't record. What would be a smart limit how much VRAM your game is using? You shouldn't really need that unless you're doing like streaming as well as gaming. Like, unless you're doing other things aside from just gaming, a VRAM limit shouldn't really be necessary. Best LLM, local LLM for coding? None. Actually code it yourself. Like, at this point, I really like vibe coders have just really gotten me to a point where I am so tired of people. You set up your own server at home? Awesome. What are you running on it so far? I love hearing about people's home labs. Like, genuinely. I think a series I might do once I get my Discord server up and public is I'll probably have like an area where people can share info about their home labs, and I'll like do videos rating it because every time home lab stuff is always makes me happy. I don't believe Do I not believe vibe coding is the future? No, vibe coding 100% is not the future. It is the future to cause a lot of issues. Okay, anyone familiar with Linux? Does Ubuntu have a backup feature? like a snapshot feature. I've been using Mint so long that I'm looking for like time shift. Why not use Linux? I'm literally using Linux right now. Okay, I'll just install TimeShift then. I was wondering if it had like a native one, but if it doesn't have a native one, TimeShift is my preference because it works so well. Like TimeShift and Time Machine work so well. I love them. What do people do on self-made servers? Like I'm running gaming servers. Like that's what I'm currently setting up right now. My main computer is Windows. Like both my main systems are Windows, but that's because I use software that only works with Windows or has less compatibility issues with Windows than it does with any other OS. Like Linux has compatibility issues, and like a lot of Linux users don't like talking about the compatibility issues that Linux has. Why training AI consumes so much VRAM? Because you have to have a lot of data for it to use and a lot of versions of that AI running at the same time for it to test and then eliminate the ones that don't do the best. Remember me? I don't genuinely. Oh, I almost got that label off without any residue. What is IoT? Internet of Things. So, like devices that are connected to the internet to give them more features, like smart fridges, smart light switches, smart lights. I have quite a few throughout my house. I am waiting for batteries to be delivered so my smart thermometers in each room work better. Have I ever trained a custom LLM that I made from scratch? No, I don't see the purpose in it. I don't see the utility in it. Which is better for gaming, Linux or Windows? Windows. Like, still at this point because of anti cheat. If we didn't have anti cheat, Linux would be better, especially like Steam OS. Oh, you're the one that had me bring out the case of RAM. Ah. Oh, thank you for PC. If I was Microsoft, how would I improve Windows right now? I mean, currently, Microsoft has a program where they've been slowly improving Windows because the biggest issue in Windows is the backwards compatibility. Like the current version of Windows, Windows 11, you can run programs made prior to Windows 95 for like DOS, for MS DOS. Um, it's not the best for DOS, but like Windows 95, you can run those programs. And so it has backwards compatibility built in, and that is causing a lot of issues because they're just layering code on top of it And so now they're going through and clearing out a lot of that old code to try to make it work a little bit better. And they've been doing it time and time again. Like Windows 10 had a lot of it cleared out. And then Windows 11 has cleared out a decent chunk more while adding like some of the back end features that people wanted, like built-in Linux support on things. Windows 11 search fully stops working. I mean, if you need like if you are searching for files, then there is a better solution called Everything. Everything is one of those tools like everyone should have on their computer because it is so phenomenal and so quick. What is the hardest thing I've repaired? Gaming laptops. They are a pain in the butt, especially if you have to solder them. Straight up, if you have to solder them. Have I seen the people with the corny personalized Jarvis assistant? I mean, there is one creator who has one that he has been working on long before like AI has become what it is now. Oh, what's his name? I'm mutuals with him. And I got my Nvidia Jetson. I won through a contest that he did. Um why can I not remember his name now? But he like his is phenomenal. Like he actually has put so much work in it, and it was like his project to study how to do machine learning and how to do like um machine training so that it could learn a voice and things like that. His has been phenomenal. Someone will probably mention what his name is. I do not remember it off the top of my head, which I feel bad about. But yeah, like he was doing a lot of actual AI stuff before large language models hit, and then large language models hit, and he hasn't been doing as much from what I've seen. Which is better, Nvidia or AMD? AMD, in my opinion. I prefer AMD over Nvidia. How to connect an HDMI laptop to a DisplayPort monitor? That one might be tricky because I don't know. Like, I want to say most DisplayPort to HDMI is DisplayPort to HDMI and not vice versa. So you might want to try an adapter and see if it works, but it might not. I just dropped the lid for my water bottle. Your computer has slow internet. How old is your computer? Because it could be that the network connector for it is old and slow. Ah, there's the lid. Thermal paste on capacitors, is it bad? I mean, it's not ideal. You should be using thermal pads on capacitors. Thermal paste should only be really used on the CPU and GPU. You're reporting this live. Why are you reporting this live? Huh. I like how you don't have a name on your account, thinking that people wouldn't be able to know what your account name was. Intel or AMD processor? AMD. Why does your PC restart itself when you turn it on? What do you mean? Also, FYI for anyone over on TikTok, live stream's going to end in a minute. In about 10. At the hour mark, live stream on TikTok ends. I will only be on the other two platforms after that. What is an NPU? I need to remember what the acronym is. Let me double check really quick. Neural processing unit. Okay, so there's two different types. There's the neural processing unit, and I'm trying to remember the other one. Because there's two different processors that have come out. Actually, if I do TPU is the other one. Technically, TPUs have been around for a little bit longer, which are tensor processing units. Both of them are way more used nowadays because they're both used for AI stuff. So you have the neural processing unit, which is usually what runs a like AI, large language model, locally on your device, like a phone or a computer. Then you have a TENS processing unit, which is more for the training side of things. And so, like, it's just a processor that is dedicated for AI, which is annoying in and of itself. And yes, I double check what I'm teaching before I talk about it usually. 4 sticks of RAM or 2, it depends on what size. Because like if it's like I've had someone the other day who had 2 8 gig sticks and they wanted to add 16 gigs. Honestly, in that situation, I recommend a 16 gig stick because that means that they can upgrade to have another 16 gig stick later down the road. If they had done 2 8 gig sticks, that's all 4 channels filled, and they would have to be replacing sticks at that point. What's the best microcontrollers for beginner? ESP32. Because there's a lot of documentation of stuff that you can do with it. I'm trying to make a list of like projects that you can do with it. I just have other priorities right now, so I only have 2 things on the list. I think there's like 4 more I can add to the list today if I do it really quick. Someone asked, "Where's the cat?" Where's Sushi? Sushi. I know she's coming because I instantly saw my other cat look at the direction she's coming from. Sushi, come here. Do I dare check my DMs to see if anyone's complained about the fact that I mute people? I like how my For You page knows me well enough to know I am going to like videos about like industrial machines that are very specific. Who's your good little snuggly baby? Who's your good little snuggly baby? Oh, look at the little snuggly baby. Is there a way to connect two monitors to one HDMI port? Technically, yes, but you shouldn't do it. Like, especially if you want to have, like, if you're looking to have more than one display, so, like, having it where you have the monitors extend to each other, then no, you shouldn't do it. If you want to duplicate the monitors, yeah, you can do that fairly easily. There's HDMI splitters that will duplicate the input and put it onto two outputs. How are you doing, my baby? I have a cat. Is there a way to run Windows 11 smooth like Linux? What do you mean? Is there a way to make an old digital camera a webcam? Yeah, I mean, that, the overhead camera you guys are using, that's a camcorder. I just have the HDMI output going to a capture card. Your screen flickers black, but you know Windows is still running. That sounds like a GPU issue right there. We only got 3 minutes left over on TikTok. If you guys want to continue asking questions, I I recommend doing the thing that's at the top of the screen right now, or in the middle of the screen, the thing that's right above me. Do I know anything about PLCs? Yes, I used to program PLCs in college, which was nearly 20 years ago. I mean, it was like 15, but still. Then it would probably be your CPU that's having issues. If you don't have a GPU, but your screen is still flickering black, most likely that is your CPU struggling. Your PC asks you which drive you want to boot from every time you boot it up. That means you haven't set in the BIOS what the default drive should be. Usually that happens when something goes wrong with your BIOS or something goes wrong with your installation. So you just need to go into your BIOS and tell it which is the default boot drive. One minute warning, everybody. In 1 minute, we will be switching over to only those two locations for the live stream. And I will probably be, hopefully, going for 2 hours. I might end early because of how hot it is, but I will still be going for usually at least an hour. And I'm going to be finishing setting up this system over on the live. Where do you plug your controller in for the fastest input? It doesn't matter for a controller. Controllers still operate off of USB 2.0, so any USB 2.0 should be good. Final questions. Should we change to DDR5? I mean, that way you can upgrade your computer for longer because eventually DDR4 is going to go away, but DDR5 will last a lot longer than DDR4 will. FYI, you guys didn't know, I continue streaming on the other two platforms that are on the screen right now. If you want to know where to find those other two platforms, it's fairly easy. You just go over to my site, thebeardeditguy.com, and they're linked right there. You can also find my recommendations for like my favorite sticker store that I get stickers for all my systems for. You can also find the software that I recommend, which is PC Doctor Toolbox. It is a full diagnostic suite for hardware on your Windows computers. It is also free. This is free software that lets you run diagnostics on your computer to find out if your hardware has issues. Then you also have my full info base that I've been working on that gives all of my hardware recommendations for like tools and things like that, and then gives a breakdown on how to repair certain things. Still working on it. Every so often I go in and fill stuff in when I have free time. You can also find my wish list on there. And you can also find my tips, like different links to like how to build a PC by Snubs. CPU benchmark, GPU benchmark. You can compare different GPUs to each other, find out which one's actually better. CPU benchmark, compare CPUs to each other, find out which one is better. Bottleneck calculator. This is one of the things I get asked the most is how do I find out what the bottleneck on my system is? Right there is a link for you to do it. You also have an explanation of how AI is made because a lot of people don't realize how large language models and machine learning work. Then you have stuff that I recommend buying. You also have other creators that I highly recommend. Go over to my site and see those things. Also, go over to my site so you can find out where to watch the rest of this. The Bearded IT Guy on those two platforms is where you go and watch this. I will be over there streaming for the next, at minimum, hour. Usually I go for at least an hour and a half, but it depends on how hot this room gets because I am just cooling myself with this. So, yeah. Thank you guys over on TikTok for hanging out with me for the past 2 hours, but we are going over to YouTube and Twitch. I am now saying it because TikTok can't restrict my live in time for me to end it. Screw you, TikTok. You can't make it so I lose viewers because I said YouTube and Twitch. Go over to YouTube and Twitch if you want to hang out with me more and if you want to ask more questions. I will be answering questions over there, including the questions that have just gotten asked over on YouTube and Twitch. There are already questions waiting for me. So thank you guys over on TikTok for hanging out with me for the past 2 hours, but I am going to be heading over to YouTube and Twitch. Go over there. I will see you guys over there. Bye, everyone on TikTok. Okay, guys, now that we're alone and we don't have TikTok anymore, should you get 64 gigs of DDR4 or 32 of DDR5? I mean, what can your motherboard actually use? That is the first question. But if it's just a question of which is better, 32 gigs of DDR5 or 64 of DDR4, 64 gigs of DDR4 is going to be better than DDR5, like the 32 of DDR5. That's just how it works. Like, DDR5 is a step up, but it's not that drastic of a step up. So, yeah. My cat just jumped a mile high. Why did she just jump so high? I think I moved my chair and scared my cat like none other. Unless she just saw a spider. Because of my AC unit, I do have spiders in this room. And I don't really mind because they kill the other bugs. Is it safe enough to enable resize bar? I don't know what resize bar is. Let me see if I can look it up. Oh, I do know what that is. From I could be wrong, but from what I've heard, yes. Um, it should be safe. I'm not entirely confident because I haven't worked with it, but it should be. I cannot wait for my Amazon order to get here because I ordered like gnat traps, and I have both my kitchen and my bathroom have like a colony of gnats right now. My cat got scared of me moving something, and now she wants to go outside. Okay, I will be right back. I'm gonna let her outside really quick. She wants to be where the people are. She wants to hear them yelling. Oh, I have to go through this big old process again of installing all the dependencies. Okay. PHP 8.5 is going to be the first thing I need to install. So DDR5 is not likely to decrease in price until 2028. Like from current reports, the estimate is 2028, which like if you were here earlier, that's why I'm closing my repair shop because I can't wait until 2028 for that. It's just like I could wait until next year and be okay, but waiting another year on top of that, like especially because last year I had to be closed for like half of the year. Like part of it was like 2 months that I was pretty much closed the entire time. I only took in like two computers during that time. But then the rest of that 2 months, nothing. And then for 6 months, I was sporadically closed. Um, because I was the caretaker for someone who had cancer. Um, but then this year I've been trying to get my shop back like fully operational, and between tariffs and the chip crisis, it has been a nightmare. Like I want to say I need to go and look at the list. I have a list of it. Oh, excuse me. I think it's 12 of my suppliers no longer sell parts to the US or are closed completely because of tariffs. So it has been just really annoying. I, yeah, I have been very not happy with what's been going on. And it means that I will not be operating my shop anymore. And then there's another issue going on with the state I live in and how they treat content creators. So yeah, yeah. No, that whole thing has just been a nightmare. Okay. Let's see if I can find the tutorial I used before on installing. It's not the tutorial I used before. Where's the simple? This one. This one is so much better. Crown Cloud has a good wiki on installing this. What would be a cheaper CPU GPU combo than that? I'm not sure off the top of my head. Like, especially at that performance price, I don't know if there's a cheaper one off the top of my head. Because that is like most of the combos I've been doing have been mid tier, and that feels higher tier. So I have a song stuck in my head, and I should pop in an earbud so I can listen to it while I work on this server and talk to you guys. Also, if anyone does networking in the chats, what IP schemes do you guys use? Like, what is your favorite normal IP scheme? I am partial to a 10.10 network. I mean, technically a 10 dot network, but still, 10.10 is usually what I go with. Just because it's quick and easy to type. Zori, are you still in the ceiling while you're typing this? Or did you climb out of the ceiling? Why did Twitch, like, mute what you said? I need to go over to Twitch and find out why it muted it. Or did you just type asterisk? Because either one of those is going to be funny. Oh, you would probably love this. I got a new tool I need to show you. Let's see if you can read on it. I had to buy uh a custom tool or a new tool because someone brought in a cable for their what brand is it? It's one of the bigger brands of desks that's auto like that goes up and down. And I thought it was using RJ45 for the connector. So I picked up some RJ45 connectors. Found out no, it's not using RJ45. This isn't to crimp RJ45 connections. This is for RJ50. And that is someone at the door. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I have a customer who is heading out of town, and so they need their laptop while they're out of town, and then they're bringing it back in for repair. Yeah. So, like, I knew RJ50 existed, and I also, what's the other one? I need to look up. Okay, let's apply this change really quick. I need to look up what the uh phone connection ones are. I think it's like RJ14, 16, and things like that. Do, do, do. Oh, this doesn't help me because it's more technical of the explanation. Give me like an image so I can see, because RJ11 and RJ14 are the two that I was thinking about. So most home phones are RJ11. Um, but if you are doing phones in an office, you want RJ14. Not all phones in an office use RJ14, but if you're using RJ11 and you plug it into something that needs RJ14, oh my gosh, you are going to have nightmares. Because you're not going to be able to figure out why it doesn't work. I have not run into RJ9. I've run into RJ11, 12, and 14. Um, and now I've run into RJ50, which RJ50 is 10 pin. Do you want to know the reason I'm really annoyed that the desk uses RJ50? It only uses 5 of the pins. Have I run into RJ Jelly Beans before? I haven't, luckily. I really need to get my Discord server set up, don't I? I've just had so many things going on. And I have even more stuff. I literally, tomorrow, I was going to be, I might still be at D&D tomorrow night, but originally I was going to be at D&D, and then found out that I have a meeting tomorrow with a state legislature, well, a person who's running for a state legislature, and I am helping with stuff, and so I get to go to that, and then I get to go to D&D after. It's so many things going on. Is this a better picture showing me? Yes, here we go. This is a great picture of it. Oh, of course it's on DigiKey forums. Yeah, RJ11 is 2 pin. RJ14 is 4 pin. And it's on. So RJ11 can be on a 4 pin, a 6 pin, or an 8 pin connection. And then you have RJ14 can also be on a 4 pin, 6 pin, or 8 pin. Then RJ25 can only be on a 6 or an 8 pin because it's 6 connections. And then RJ40, where's RJ45? Welcome to like so many things that like we just don't often use. And it just gets exhausting to try to memorize all of this stuff. It's why like reference material is important. Do I code? If yes, what main languages mainly? So I don't code a lot these days, but in my life I have coded in Java, Visual Basic, Basic, Scheme. Scheme is a nightmare. Everyone should have to code in Scheme at some point in their life. Python, C#, C++. What is the language that Xbox used for its indie games? That is C# technically. They have a specific term for it, and I can't remember now. What else? PHP, HTML, but that's not a programming language. CSS, like PHP, HTML, CSS all get lumped into the same thing. They're not really programming languages. PHP is more of a programming language, though. At least it's closer to a programming language. And then what else? There's also the visual ones that I had to program in. And then there's also the robotics programming languages that I had to do, where it's not a programming language, it's a list of instructions for robotics. And there's a specific term for it, but I can't remember what that term is now. Yeah, no, I have I've done a lot of different programming languages. I'm not really good at programming. I'm not the biggest fan of it, just because like that's not how I'm able to program, but that's not how my dopamine works. No, XNA. XNA is the name of it. It's technically using C#, but there's a few different tweaks to it that made it so it's a little bit different than C#. Mainly just for like the way it works on Xbox. It was for Xbox 360. It's what, like, if you ever played on Xbox 360 and you saw like those indie games that had the orange banner at the top that you could download, that was XNA. I learned that one because I had an Xbox 360 and I loved programming and doing tech stuff at the time, and so I did that. The whole 200 feet of cable you bought is bad somehow? How did you get 200 feet of cable that's bad? Also, I should find out where my Amazon package is. Because I want the batteries for my thermostats so I know what the temperature is in each of my rooms. I need to learn Go. I've been told multiple times I should learn Go. I haven't heard of Kotlin. But because it's Java, I should be able to pick that one up easily. Yeah, no, like we finally have like the next generation of a lot of these languages that are more polished, and I need to go through and try them. Amazon keeps updating its like app. Oh, it got delivered. I'm gonna go grab that. Guys, hang out for a second. Oh, Kotlin is just for Android apps. Yay! Okay. You guys want to see what I got? So, like I said earlier in my stream, I have an infestation of fruit flies. I shouldn't say infestation because that sounds way worse than it is. No, it's just I have a big colony of fruit flies in 2 different rooms. And like even after cleaning, they've still found ways to like survive. And so now I'm going like scorched earth. I'm setting up traps and things like that. Wait, a lot of Minecraft mods have been using Kotlin? Uh, which loader have they been using? Because you have Forge, you have Fabric, you have, I want to say there's like 2 others beyond that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah, I know apple cider vinegar and dish soap works good, but it didn't work on these buggers. So now I'm going with chemical warfare. I'm gonna go set this one in my kitchen. Okay, I need to find out what the other ingredient in this is, because this might be apple cider vinegar and dish soap, which if it is, it's gonna be so sad because it's not gonna work that well. Because it already did. Like I already tried that and they didn't care. I'm gonna set up 3 of these suckers. Because there's also some that have migrated to this room. And so if I put this in here, hopefully they go for it. I might need to move it over to my desktop because it's one. I know the reason they're in here. It's because I've had food in here and like my leftovers that I've thrown in the garbage and haven't taken the garbage out. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Fabric, Neoforge, and Forge. Kind of all of them. Okay. That's actually cool that it works with, like, it doesn't need a different launcher or mod loader than is standard. Like, I have been playing so many Minecraft mods lately that like that's part of my obsession. I have a mod pack I've been playing and I added like a few custom mods to it. Like for one thing, the TARDIS mod and also the Stargate mod, which oh my gosh, I love the newer Stargate mod. I kind of wish they would have one feature that old ones used to, where you could find like a scrap of paper that would have a random Stargate address that was somewhere off the map that hadn't been rendered yet, but it knew that a Stargate would be there, so it would render that area, and then there's a Stargate. There we go. Now I have one fly trap left. Also, the other issue I have every summer because I live in a basement apartment is the stairwell outside my door is where flies love to go. I bought a lot of batteries. They love to go to the bottom of my stairwell because it's nice and cool there. And so it ends up being this area that just has a ton of flies. And I can't really control that one. So I bought one of those fly traps. Have any of you used the fly trap that smells like death? It's like the yellow top to a plastic bag, and you put water in it. It's like the worst smelling thing of all time. I should try the Prism launcher. Ooh. I have been using the one that I should not be using because the company sucks. I've been using CurseForge. Mostly out of habit. Oh, how well sealed are these things? There's a plastic layer behind there too. Especially because I'm trying to set up gaming servers and I want to like set up gaming servers for a few streamers to be able to use. I should be using a different launcher. Because let's be so for real, CurseForge sucks. Where'd I set my phone? Oh, there it is. Okay, now that I got that with the new battery in it, let's see if I can get it connected. Oh my gosh. The sensor is connected and working. Also, it is 90 degrees in this room. You dropped your iPhone 11 in water for 20 seconds. It went off and the Apple logo was twitching. Now nothing, just black. Do I think the hard drive is done for? It wouldn't be the hard drive that would be the issue with that one. That is most likely the processor has failed or something else on the motherboard. Usually the data is still there. It's just you need to send it into like a data recovery specialist who can get the data off of an iPhone that has been dropped in water. There's quite a few of them. Usually you have to find one online and ship it into them, but there's quite a few. Yeah, no, it is very hot in here. Do I dare go replace the battery in my front office and find out how warm it is out there? Oh, my front office, the battery's still fine. It's 90 degrees in the front office too. And that's the room with servers in it. One of the reasons I wanted to replace the batteries in these, I wanted to see how bad the heat got on days I stream compared to days I don't stream. I need to go get my battery box to put these in. Your server room is 124 degrees right now. How are your servers doing? I'm going to go grab my battery box, and I'm going to grab my sensor in the background. I just picked up the box, and like the 9-volt batteries were nearly connecting to each other. That could have been really bad. Let me also trim these down a little bit more. I want these to take up as little room in the box as possible. But I still want them to be sealed so they don't make contact with each other in the box. You go in and check on your servers, and they're just like, water. I don't care if it'll fry me. Give me water. How are your servers sweating? They're machines. They don't have sweat glands. Oh, is it literally that easy for me to reduce these down in size? That'd be fantastic. Ha! Yes. That'll be so much easier. Just have to pry the cardboard off the back. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be very happy when I don't have my servers in like a main room. I just need to downsize stuff more. Okay, I'm going to go put this in the other sensor. Okay, are we ready to find out how hot my room is? My room is 85 degrees. Do I think it's getting ridiculous that always when GTA comes out, PC has to wait. Well, the main thing is Rockstar does not prioritize PC like it does console because it makes more money on console, and also because it's such a big game, people will be willing to buy it on console, and then when it comes out on PC, they'll also buy it on PC. But if they release it on PC at the same time, they usually won't get those double sales. They'll only get like that person buying it on PC. So like it's crappy, but it's 100% uh their like marketing style. Oh, look at that. That's so much easier. Yep, 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 yep. There we go. Yeah, Rockstar has always been very not great about things, but it's also a company that a lot of people like their games. I'm one of those people. I've loved GTA and I love Red Dead Redemption. I mean, even Rockstar Table Tennis, like that was another good one. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter that it's already a money grab. They're going to try to grab as much money as they can every time. I think I need a sign behind me that says capitalism is the bad guy. Let me message my best friend and find out if he has a sticker for that. Ah, I can't see chat now. There we go. Do you have a capitalism is the bad guy sticker? I think he's busy today, but he'll message me back once he gets that. Because if you didn't know, most of my stickers are by my best friend. And then my newest merch is also by my best friend. He's a fantastic artist. He also gets a percentage of the sales. Honestly, I think the first like 10 items I sell with his stuff, I'm gonna give him 100% of the sales. What am I cutting? CMOS batteries. These are also the same batteries that like my temperature gauges in each room use. So I have 3 thermostats throughout my apartment that like measure the temperature and can also dictate if a fan needs to be on or not. And so 2 of the sensors finally like bit the dust. So I needed to change the batteries out on them. When I did, I found out that this room is 90 degrees. And I found out my room is 85. Will we ever get a tech shop reveal? My old videos are from that room. I still do some videos from there. If you look at my my video where I take gummies and I do tech repair work or tech work, that is a decent chunk of my shop. It is a disaster right now because water heater failed and so had to clear out. Oh yeah, no, I'm not revealing the name of my shop. Because I don't want to dox myself. There are people who legitimately have already sent me death threats in my life as a content creator because someone said stuff that I didn't say, and so people started like calling my business and threatening me. Yeah, I think I've had 3 phone calls to my business from people who have found me and threatened me. Which honestly, in 6 years of being a content creator, that's not that bad. There we go. Now I have 2032 batteries, including all of these. Oh yeah, people have no life. Like legitimately. Also today I should record another Oh yeah, no, like I'll be honest, in my videos and in the stuff I talk about, I realize people can find out where my shop is fairly easily. It's just I don't make it hard for people to find, but I don't want to make it easy enough for the very base level of people to find. Because my philosophy is always the first group of people you should try to prevent from doing damage to your business at like as a security tech type thing is script kiddies. And so like that's my same philosophy is the script kiddies of like the social media world is the one that I want to avoid having my information. So I leave enough clues that people can know. I mean, heck, there's currently very major legal drama dealing with a company that is located in my city and police located in my city dealing with Legos. Yeah, second star to the left, straight on till morning. Okay, IP address is set on this thing. Let's see if we can. Um, let's update all of the things. Don't I have a capture card? I have multiple. I mean, that's how I'm doing this and this. And then I even have one that goes from my Xbox to my main computer. And then I have another one that I'm not using currently. And then I have this one. That's on my Pi KBM. I have a lot of capture cards. I have 3 Elgato capture cards. Okay, that's all updated. Let's go on to the next one. That was fast. Oh, why is this not deployed? Because I hooked this up to computers that I'm servicing. So on the top here, I have a breakout board that splits USB Type C into power and data. This one right here just does the power. So like when I'm using this, I have this plugged into power, and then this USB-C plugs into the computer. So this can pretend to be the keyboard and mouse. Then you also plug in the HDMI into this, and you can also use the throughput to have it on a screen there. But I remote into this using like, well, I don't really remote into it because it's a website, it's a web page you use, but you connect to the web page and you can see that remote computer, and you move the mouse on the screen and control the mouse on that computer and the keyboard inputs and everything like that. It is one of the most useful Pi projects that I've ever seen. And then these wires here, I need to finish doing the circuit board for, because these will allow you to connect it to like the pinout on the system and see the LED lights, like see what those LED lights are doing. Also, you can turn it off, turn it back on, and use the reset switch. Can I find the name of the breakout board? Uh, if you look for a USB-C power data splitter, it should be the first result. They're fairly common, honestly, especially nowadays. Yeah, USB data power breakout board, fantastic. Especially because the Pi 4 only has one USB-C port and two micro HDMI ports. Like, why do we need two micro HDMI ports and only one USB-C? Yeah, it just uses local IP addresses so I can connect to it. I could route it through like I could do a port forward on my router and use it from anywhere, but I don't need to. Yeah, you can find them on eBay. I found mine on Amazon. Um, but eBay ones work as well. Oh yeah, no, normally I would do it through a VPN because that's so much safer. No, like everything, even remote desktop things like that, I do through a VPN now. Any particular care tips for electronics in 106-degree weather? Honestly, if you don't need it, turn it off. And if you do need it, make sure that there are fans circulating the air around it because you want that air to be a little bit cooler to try to cool it off. I like how the module looks. I like how just a circuit board on there just looks. But I can also see wanting the like actual encased version. Yeah. Oh, it would help if I spell things correctly. Okay, PHP dash V to verify. Yep. Now let's get those PHP extensions. Do I have a domain controller locally? No. Yeah, that should have. Oh, I need to learn how to spell. Okay. Oh, Discord. I do have a Discord I'm currently setting up. It's only for me and like my moderators right now, but I am getting it set up so that way people can be in it and hang out. I did MString. I need BC Math. I really want to have a channel where people can share like their home labs so I can like I want to do videos where I go over like people's home labs and go like this is cool. Dude, you need to clean up those cables. Like things like that. I don't want to rate people's like computer setups, but their home labs 100% would rate. Five, we need zip. Dash still up on 5 dash Q L I T E 3 PHP 8.5 dash FPM. Why am I mixing up Sermon and The Climb? Hey, I think I typed it all right. I don't see any. I don't see anything saying an error could not be found for any of the stuff I just installed. There we go. Does the shop have a shop lab? What do you mean by shop lab? It's a one-person shop, so whatever I have, honestly. Like a fan that just fell over. I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. It should just be MySQL dash server, right? Oh yeah, no, like my servers, so literally right out there is my server rack. That is my home lab. Hey, it's been an hour. I'm probably gonna wrap up stream in the next few minutes. So that way I can put on like a movie or something while I finish setting up this server. There we go. Um and now let's get Timeshift installed on here. I don't have any employees. I used to. Um at one point I had 2 people under contract working for me. Um but things got slow and I just after that I haven't had enough to really get anyone else working in here. When I was doing IT services as well as running the computer repair shop, it was easier to justify like having people that I would rely on and have do stuff for me out of the office. But like especially since I'm closing down the shop, it doesn't make sense. Okay, it is creating a snapshot. I think with that I am going to call it a day. Oh yeah, I am stopping doing my shop. Because of the RAM crisis and the storage crisis, it has become even harder to run my shop because so many people need upgrades or replacement RAM and storage. And it's just a lot harder at this point, especially I've already lost a lot of suppliers. So that was another one on top of it that has made it harder. And I'm also going to be moving probably next year, hopefully next year. And so I figure right now is a decent time to do it as long as I can be making income. And that's why I'm working on so many other things. Like literally right now, I have like I don't have the window open on my computer because I'm streaming right now, and I close all my personal stuff and work stuff. But I have open right now this project that I'm doing here as a full on like I'm doing gaming servers. Here's the walkthrough that I went through. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this way. And honestly, I've gotten tired of doing repair. I've had enough really crappy customers in the past little while dealing with so many other things that I'm just like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. And so, yeah. Um, I wish I was at the point with content creation that I was like almost 2 years ago, because 2 years ago, right about now, is when I started finding out that I was getting like like ads that I was being flown to like New York City for. And then November of that year, I was getting requests to go out of the country to do videos. And like I didn't have a passport at the time, so I'd have to delay it and do the year after, but it was still the momentum was building in such a way that I was doing fairly good, and then I had to take a year off. And so now I'm currently building back in a time when it's a lot harder for creators because like right now I have a management team handling a lot of stuff for me, and we have not been able to get like ads and things like that. Even though I do these live streams, and like earlier on the TikTok live, I had, I think it was like 4 or 5 thousand had viewed my stream, and then I was averaging about 60 people at a time in the stream. So yeah, like I can get views. It's just I'm trying to build back up and trying to go over to other platforms like YouTube. So it's just kind of exhausting right now. Like it's this weird middle area where I'm still trying to work on things. Like I'm never going to stop repairing things. I'm never going to like give up my tools or anything like that. But at the same time, I need a little bit of a break from it after so long. I've been running this shop for a decade. But yeah, I'm going to go put on a movie and relax for a little while. Um and probably pester my partner because they are missing me immensely and I need to go give them some attention. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know there's a few people that are lurking because I can see my numbers. You all are fantastic. I hope you all have a wonderful day. This stream will be available after it's live if anyone wants to watch it after the fact. Previous streams are up on my YouTube channel because if people watch through those, I have more watch time. That means I am closer to getting paid by YouTube. That's the goal right now. Twitch is paying me. I'm trying to get it so YouTube also is paying me. But you guys are fantastic. I will see you guys later. I will see you guys on Sunday. That's when I'm streaming next. If you didn't know, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. Bye, everybody.